CapCut recently announced that they are cutting free cloud storage and also lowering the member limit from 5 to 2. In a very confusing and poorly written announcement, they say that beginning on August 5th, 2024, you'll be able to download your existing projects, but you can't upload new ones or make changes. To use all the space features, you'll need to subscribe to a storage plan. Currently, CapCut provides 5 gigabytes of cloud storage for free users and 100 gigabytes for pro or paid subscription users. Their announcement doesn't say whether they're cutting the 5 gigabytes out for free users or whether they're cutting the 100 gigabytes out for pro users as well. Their mention of subscribing to a storage plan, I don't know what a storage plan is, I've never seen such a thing before, nor did I find a place where you could go buy a storage plan. Not that I would. As part of the announcement, they also said that spaces are going to be limited to 2 members now. Used to be 5, and this means that you could share access to your CapCut projects with other people to work on them as well. Now that's being cut down to you and one other person. And if you want more than one other person to work on your project with you, you need to upgrade to Teams. Not just a pro subscription, apparently. You need Teams, whatever that is. Meanwhile, the CapCut website still says free cloud storage and download for free all over the page with all these great features. Before we go any further, I still use CapCut and I like it when I don't hate it. See, they've got a lot of great features that do amazing things and a lot of stuff that just works really well. But the way some things work in CapCut and the way CapCut does some things is so stupid it defies logic. There are definitely some issues, and I'm not the only one experiencing them. Many of the free users are getting pretty fed up with features going behind a paywall. They're free today, and then tomorrow suddenly they're a pro feature. For instance, auto caption. I'm understanding from a lot of free users that now they're getting a message when they try to use that it's a pro-only feature. And it's not just big features either, it's also some of the transitions, effects, filters, certain selections within text styles and that sort of thing that were once free that then one day they find you have to have a pro subscription to use. Now, before you come at me for bringing this up, I am a pro user. I pay for a subscription. So while this doesn't affect me directly, it does impact a lot of creators, particularly solo creators, and those are my people. Now, on one hand, it's really hard to complain about something that's free, especially if you've had the benefit of using a certain feature or a certain effect for 6 months or a year or whatever, and now CapCut's saying, hey, it's not free anymore, you gotta pay for it. Well, what are you going to do? But it's kind of odd that some old and really unsexy things, certain transitions and whatnot, have gone behind a paywall. See, other editors are pretty clear about the distinction between their free and paid versions. Take DaVinci Resolve, for example. It's very clear that you're going to get the core and a whole lot more with the free version of DaVinci Resolve, but if you want the AI stuff and a few other features, you need to be on the paid studio version. And they provide a clear list on their website explaining what you get. They also don't create a situation where sub-elements like certain transitions, certain filters, certain text presets are pro while others are free, and then juggle those seemingly back and forth or moving them slowly all into paid, if that's what's happening. Now, oddly enough, I got a marketing email from CapCut promoting all these caption options, the things that I'm understanding free users are saying are no longer free. And all the buttons on here say explore now, try now, or get started. And here at the bottom it says free all-in-one video editor for everyone to create anything anywhere. There's no mention that any of these features they're describing up here are paid features, and that would probably be a good idea, even if it was a little star at the bottom that said some of these features are paid. Now, as to why I'm getting this CapCut marketing email, I have no idea. They still send me emails telling me I should upgrade to Pro when I'm already a Pro user, and they send me a lot of emails telling me I should join their affiliate program when I joined it months ago. And perhaps the funniest thing is if I click this Explore Now button to look at the smart captioning, it takes me over to the Mac App Store preview. I don't use a Mac, I've never used a Mac, I don't speak Mac. So okay, you say, just pay the subscription and your worries will be over. Sounds reasonable, except that pro subscribers are experiencing some similar things. I've heard from some paid users that things like Voice Isolator just disappeared, or the AI characters that appeared in one update and disappeared in another, or got buried so far off and deep in another section and limited that they really weren't at all what they started out to be. And when you paid for something that included certain features and they just disappear, and now the product isn't exactly what you paid for anymore, that's not cool and it's not fair. There's another issue floating around, and I don't know whether this is true or just total speculation. The concern is that the impending US ban on TikTok will also affect CapCut, because CapCut and TikTok are both owned by ByteDance. We do know that the US government has given ByteDance a deadline to restructure under certain conditions, or TikTok will be banned in the US. As a CapCut user, I don't know if CapCut is affected under this same deadline and deal or not. ByteDance and CapCut certainly haven't made any announcements about it. They haven't told us what they're doing about it, whether it even affects CapCut at all. And the other question a lot of folks have is, okay, if CapCut gets banned in the US, I've paid for an annual subscription. Do I get a prorated refund of what I've already paid for, but I'm not going to get to use? Now, all this frustration boils down to a couple of underlying problems. Number one, CapCut sucks at communication and transparency. Although features have come and gone, this storage thing and member limit is the first time I've seen any announcement from CapCut about something before it actually happens. Usually we don't even hear from them after it happens. Also, if there's a place where you can compare what features are available in the free versus the pro subscription, I can't find it. You know, that comparison table that every software puts right there on their pricing page. Oh wait, CapCut does not have a pricing page. Instead, everything channels you to the try now and download for free and use for free buttons, and then when you use the software, you'll find something you want to add that'll say, this is a pro feature, you'll need to upgrade to actually use or export that. There's no roadmap, at least not that I can find, that shows the features that exist and what features are in the pipeline or planned for the future. There's no changelog, again, at least not one that I've found. So when an update comes out, you have no idea what's changed until you go in and look around and find new things that weren't there before, or worse, go in and try and find something that you used an hour ago and now it's just gone. Or for the free users, in a lot of cases, now it's a pro feature. To me, the communication and transparency is the number one problem with CapCut. The second major issue is they have multiple different versions. And I'm not just talking about the chronological new release versions like 3.9 and 4.0 and 4.0.1. See, CapCut has a web browser version, and then they have a desktop version. Well, one desktop for Windows and one desktop for Mac. And then they also have their mobile versions for iOS and Android. So that's multiple different versions there. Plus, there are regional differences. Some features are not available in some countries. In fact, CapCut is completely unavailable in some countries. So if a feature doesn't exist for a specific user, is it because it's a desktop-only feature and they're using the web browser? Is it because it's something that's just not available in their country? Is it because they're on a Mac and it's only included in the PC version? Those are all good questions, and it makes it really hard to figure out if you've got a problem with your particular device or installation, or whether this is just how that thing is supposed to work. And I absolutely know that there are differences among these different platforms and regions and whatnot. I was working on the desktop and I saved a project to the cloud, thinking I would be able to, on my laptop, use the web browser, but it will not open because it says, oh, there are desktop-only features used in this file, so we can't open it in your web browser. Does CapCut do anything to clarify this? Like have a table of versions and available features? No. How about leaving a placeholder in the interface that shows the feature, and if it's not available for whatever reason, have it disabled, but with a tooltip or hover card that says, this feature isn't available because this feature is only available in desktop, or this feature is only available on Mac, or this feature is not available in your country. That would save a lot of frustration on wondering and trying to figure out where a feature went from an hour ago. And it's obviously doable because they can put those little tags on features within CapCut that say free or pro. So what's a creator to do? Well, if you're currently considering whether you should use CapCut or not, keep this in mind. Maybe none of this stuff is a problem for you, and that is totally cool.